Welcome friends, it's Wednesday's Why. So welcome to the mini challenge or health challenge that I'm doing for the next actually now it's all 4 days. Today is the second. And so what I'm talking about is different toxins that you may not realize are in your life that are really impacting your health. And they're so simple to just change a couple things to make it better for you. And so that's what I wanted to share. And so I thought starting the new year, it'd be a great way to kind of learn how to take care of our health just a little bit better. So today I'm going to be talking about water. So yesterday we talked about air, or on Monday we talked about air. And so today we're talking about water. So it's really obviously important to stay hydrated. And so I do my best to drink 20 ounces a day, 5 times, or 6. And so I actually have a glass jar that I have, and then I have these little tags that I just kind of put in every time I finish a jar, I kind of move it, so it's being this way, move it that way. So you just need to find some way that you are able to track how much water you're taking in and whether you're doing a good job. And it's like, I didn't do so good yesterday, I'll kind of push a little bit harder today. And I'm actually having a hard time too because it's cold, and so you want to have more like teas and I love hot chocolate. And so it's hard to sometimes get just the pure water in because you're drinking some other stuff, but it's important to try. So I'm doing the same thing. So again, try to make sure that you're taking in enough water for your body so it can stay hydrated. But also the other thing that's important is the quality of water that you're drinking. So unfortunately, a lot of our waters get contaminated. And so a lot of times you'll hear people say, drink out of glass because that helps keep out the plastics and the toxins and things like that. Another thing is that drinking tap water, there's a lot of contaminants that are in our tap water. So those could be things like chemicals, chlorine, chloride, maybe even glyphosate from crops and farms kind of sink down through our water table and get there. Things like that, like fertilizers, pesticides, chemicals from even pharmaceuticals can do the same thing. And so they can all impact your hormone level and your thyroid. And so they can really impact you at a level that you're just not kind of aware of. That's why it's really important to find a water filter for your house that is really helpful. And there's a lot on the market. And so it's a matter of just kind of researching and finding out what works best for you. Berkey's is one of the top of the line, and sometimes it is expensive. So, but that is a good way to get really good filtered water. A plumbing supply place or a plumber can install also a filter that's underneath your sink. So it comes from your tap water, but it filters out all the bad things. I use a thing called Body Glove, and it's you can get filters off of Amazon. So it's really easy to replace the filters about once a year. But that's an affordable way to do it. Another one that I've tried is AquaTrue, and that really is kind of an on-counter filter, so it's good for like dorm rooms and things like that. Or apartments if you're not wanting to have something hardwired in. But like I said, there's a lot on the market, and so it's worth researching to find out what works best. I do have to say that sometimes you can get a whole house filter, and that way you're filtering any of the water that comes in from the street. And that way you are not even just eating, cooking, drinking in the water, but also you are bathing in not the water that has all those chemicals in it. And so therefore, every time you shower or a bath, you're not getting those chemicals actually soaking into your skin. So that's another thing. And a lot of times you don't think about using filtered water for cooking, and it really makes a big difference. So make sure that you are filtering the water that you're using in your cooking. So one thing I want to caution you on is things that are not, let's say, a good filter are things like Brita filters don't capture all that stuff and get it out. So that's not a really high quality one. Sometimes refrigerator filters also are not too high quality. It depends on the water you're starting with. So the hometown I came from, which shout out, is getting a lot of snow today, and they have a major snow day. So I'm very jealous. But anyway, they have such pure water because they're high in the mountains with all that good snow, that the filters don't have to be as intensive. But if you're going to be in a place where it's a lot more populated area and have a lot more farming and things like that, you're going to need a really heavy filter in order to filter out those kind of things. So another thing that you can do to help is you can use water to detoxify your body. And so you've heard a lot of people talk about adding lemon to their water. Well, what that does is it detoxifies the system. And so a lot of times they say, first thing in the morning, drink your water, or your first glass or whatever should be with that lemon. And so that helps detoxify your body. And so a lot of times I do that when I'm exercising in the morning, because I exercise in the morning, and my first glass, or those 20 ounces, is lemon, so that you can flush the body with everything that was happening at night from the day before. But you need to be careful that after you get done drinking that you rinse your mouth with water, because you don't want that water with the lemon in it from the acid to get on your teeth and stay on your teeth. So you need to rinse that. One of the other things that you can rinse it with is redox signaling molecules from a product called ASEA. And so what that does is not only does it rinse it, but it also adds back the properties that your body needs in order to repair. And so that's a good way to rinse your mouth. So I started doing that, and that's been very, very helpful. So I'm Jody Colegrove, and I help people discover that root cause of their health issue, so they can find and clear the toxins, the pathogens, and the traumas that are impacting your health. That's what I do as a holistic coach. And so then I reintroduce regenerative medicine, things like stem cells or the redox signaling molecules, to help your body and health thrive. So when you do that, then that's when you get answers. You have clarity on what to do. You have energy to be able to do it. So you can live in peace, know you're headed in the right direction, getting back the health you want, that you so richly deserve. So my challenge to you today is two things. The first thing is to do your best to stay hydrated. So find a system that you can use, a glass that you're always using, how many of those you need to have a day. And that way you have a system to kind of track what you're taking in and hydrating, and making sure that everything is working well with that hydration. The second is to research the kind of filter that would be great for you, so that way that you can really have good water that you're entering in your body, so that you can have good health and it has good foundation to work with. So number one, make sure you track and take care of your hydration. Number two, make sure that the hydration that you have is very healthy for you. So next Monday, I'm actually going to be doing my Monday morning connection in my Facebook group, which is Holistic Health for Christians, Tapping Toxins and Trauma. So I have the link above, and so you can click that link and join the group, and then you can hear next week's Monday morning connection and Wednesday's why. And then I have also another Monday morning, and then we're going to have a Zoom meeting talking about more of these things about the small health challenge to take care of yourself. All right, so I hope you have a great rest of the day and a great rest of the week. All right, blessings.